thank you so much for joining me on this experimental journey of a interview show on new and old Funko Pop unboxings. I've taken on this idea, and I'm really excited about it, and I hope that you stick around for the entire series. Hit subscribe below to catch them all. Every other Saturday, we're going to release a new one. But I wanted to give you some background just real quick before we jump in to the show. As some of you may know, I worked in the sports media field for about the last 10 to 12 years or so. And when COVID hit, and not because of COVID, but when COVID hit, that was my last season with my main job, which is the Nashville Predators radio network. And over the last year and a half, I've really missed it. You know, being in the locker room, talking to athletes, kind of developing stories, that kind of thing. And so I was like, how can I explore that given the platform that McGillney and I have now, which of course is on this channel? So I came up with this idea of kind of a late night talk show format where it's just two collectors talking about collections and about Funko and about all that stuff. And I'm very, very excited to finally unveil one of these episodes with you today. I have 7 scheduled over the next, I guess, 14 weeks. And there's going to be many, many more after that, assuming that you like the content. So thank you so much for joining me. Clara of Silver-Haired Wolf is up first after the intro. Thank you so much for joining me. This is New and Old Funko Pop Unboxings. I'm Jeremy, and I'm old. Please, our wonderful guest, Silver-Haired Wolf, please identify yourself and just give us the kind of the rundown of your channel and where to find you and all that stuff.
Well, my real name is Clara, and I'm old too. And I go by Silver-Haired Wolf because it was a name that was given to me a way long time ago, because I've been gray since my late 30s. So this is not something that I just developed as I got older. It's been with me like half of my life. So everybody started calling me the Silver-Haired, and then the wolf, I don't know where it came from. Well, I guess I know, but we'll leave that there. And yeah, so I started collecting just about a year ago. In I want to say it was October. It could have been October 2018, more than a year. I started collecting, and I fell in love with these things, and now they're out of control in my house. They're taking over. Um,
How did that start? I mean, what were you just at a Target and you saw one? You're like, oh, I like that one, and then just spiraled out of control. I mean, can you? While you go get that, I'll buy time. Can you like
no,
how
it's
did
right here.
collecting itself start?
This is what started, and the only reason I have it so handy was because they gave me a challenge, and this thing was buried because, of course, this was the first Funko Pop, and it was Dreamland Dumbo. And the only reason I picked this up at a Walmart, because it's a Walmart exclusive, was because my mom had just passed away a few months before, and she loved elephants. So I saw this cute little box with this cute little Dumbo in it, and I was like, you know what, I'm gonna pick this up. And I did. And it sat here for months, maybe for a year or two, because I went through a very bad depression after she passed. And then one day I was sitting right here and I looked at it and I said, man, I wonder what that is. I wonder what, what is a Funko Pop? And I looked it up on the computer. And next thing I knew, I had like 30 Star Wars Pops in a cart. And that was it.
Was that your kind of? I mean, obviously the Dumbo was your entryway, but was there the Star Wars line? Did that was that the first thing that you kind of gravitated to?
Yes, because I'm a huge Star Wars fan. I've always been a Star Wars fan ever since the movie came out. My brother and I waited online at the Ziegfeld Theater here in New York City. Like from around 3 o'clock in the afternoon, they were having a midnight showing of the first Star Wars movie. And after that, we did it for years. Every Star Wars movie that came out, we actually went to the first showing, whatever time that would be. And then my birthday is on May the 4th.
Of course, it's written in the stars. Then
So so that was the first fandom that I actually collected. But I like every new collector, I went all over the place. I started buying everything. I didn't have any structure, and that's why I've ended up with almost 1,000 pops in a little bit over a year and a half, maybe now.
So what were you collecting early? I mean, I know you said everything, but like when you walked into any store, were you just grabbing whatever? Were you attracted to the cons? I mean, where were you at?
I was absolutely grabbing. Well, I really didn't know anything about cons. I had absolutely no clue what this Funko Pop thing culture was. So I started watching videos on YouTube, and the first people that I watched were Beer to Pop and Franchise Kicks. Those were the very first two people, and then after that I started watching Tristan, Top Pops, and then I started getting a little bit more educated as to what this culture was all about. But I collected, like, when I say everything, I mean I collected Marvel, I collected Star Wars, I collected Disney, I collected everything in between there, and but I really kind of gravitated towards more than anything else like Star Wars. And then again, you have to remember that I didn't know just how vast it was, that you could practically collect anything that you've ever laid eyes on. So as I started getting more and more educated on the culture and what this type of collecting was, then I started kind of like, but it was too late by then. I had collected over like maybe 700 pops by then. And then I learned about the
Wow.
cons, and me being crazy, I would get every single pop in the con that I could get. I wouldn't just get the one that I was most interested in or that I liked. I would just go down the line. Like for NYCC, I got everything, everything. It was like when the bill hit, I almost fell off my chair, but there was no going back then. I just had to pay for everything.
Did the cons open your eyes to almost like a wake up call? Was it like, okay, well, I got to dial it back, or did you go more? Did you press more into it? Because I can see how somebody would go either way depending on the personality.
Right. No, I have an obsessive personality. So I went even deeper because now I learned about stickers. So now
Oh
I
yes.
wanted con stickers opposed to shared stickers, and I became, like a sticker person, and then I got out of that. That was also another phase. Don't get me wrong, there are certain pops that I will like for the breast cancer Joker. When I won the NYCC lottery, so I was lucky enough to be able to go in there. And when I got that pop, being that I am a Joker collector, that's one of my fandoms that I absolutely adore the character, and he was a shared sticker. So I actually went out and bought the con sticker, so to have both of them. But I won't do that for many of them. I would just do that for, I have only done it actually for that one, for that particular pop that I've actually gone after that con sticker.
So when you're collecting, then like let's fast forward to right now. Are you a completionist? Do you just collect what you like? I mean, how do you kind of tackle? Well, I asked this because when I first started about a year and a half ago collecting, I, as you kind of mentioned earlier, I had to just get everything I thought was great, right? I had to get this because I didn't understand that. Oh, pretty much several times a month they come out with a they come out or announce a new thing.
Several times a
So I,
month or several times
yeah,
a
well,
week.
yeah, well, I know. So, so I was at the impression of like, okay, well, I better get this now, otherwise I might not be able to see it again. And of course, now I go back in the Target and I see that same pop that's been sitting there for 8 months, right? So how, are you a completionist? How do you tackle your collection now?
Okay, so now I want to purge everything. Now I want to get rid of everything. I've gotten into this mindset that I want all these pops out of my house. But I don't want to stop collecting. I just want everything out that I don't want, that I just bought on impulse or that I bought without really ever planning on collecting. Um, I do have to complete a line once I start it. If that's a line that I really like and I want. I recently completed The Wizard of Oz. It's my one of my childhood movies. I watched that movies even now as an adult. It was always an escape for me. I had a very troubled childhood, and it was always an escape for me. So I completed it. It was meant to be. It was 1, 2, 3. I think I completed this set in less than a month. Um, and it was just amazing. Um, Universal Monsters. I'm a horror collector. That I know for sure. I love horror. I don't watch any of the movies because I'm scared. But as far as the pops are concerned, I love them all. Um, I'm almost through. I only need the Frankenstein for the Universal Monsters to be complete. So yeah, I'm pretty much. I will never complete Star Wars. The Mandalorian
I
set
think
is,
it's impossible to complete Star Wars.
it's a rabbit hole that's way too deep. Um, and the Mandalorian set I pretty much have complete also.
When you say complete, do you mean just the 4-inch pops, or are you also incorporating the 10-inch and the 6-inch and the deluxe
All
and
of
the
them.
blah 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 blah?
All of them. Like with the Wizard of Oz set, the only ones that I don't have are the Metallic Monkey and the Metallic Witch, and that's because they're 7, 8, $900
Right,
pops.
right.
They're like exclusives. They were, to me, it's like if I never get them, it's okay. I have most of the ones that are important, so that's okay. But yeah, I mean, complete the entire set. Well, except for also the Universal Monsters. I don't have any of those 4 packs that go for $1,000. I have all the 4-inch pops. Back then, I don't think they did any 10 inches or anything like that, which I don't
Right.
want to even give Funko the idea at this point.
So I noticed in your background when I've watched your channel, and of course now, I noticed two things. The first thing I noticed is that you have a lot of different collectible lines. So you've got Funko sodas back there. I think you might even have you got some designer toys. I think I see.
Yes.
And obviously you have some regular pops, of course, abominables back there. So can you kind of take me through maybe how you found those or why you collect those different lines?
Well, quite honestly, and I've been saying this a lot recently. When I first started collecting the sodas, the vinyl sodas were not out. They came out afterwards. And quite honestly, if they would have been out, I don't think I would have steered to Funko Pops. I think I would have stayed with just collecting sodas.
Okay.
I love the soda line. Absolutely love it. The figures are amazing. The way to display them is also amazing. And now with the new soda stands, um, they're absolutely amazing to just put up there. So I've done only the chases so far on the soda stands, but um I would have never collected Funko Pops. I really wouldn't. Now the chumps, I saw a chump, I ordered one, and I fell in love. So I collect chumps. The super plastic, someone turned me on to them, and they said, "Oh, you go order this. Go order this. These are great to have." I ordered my first one. Not too crazy about them, but I still get some of them. I would want to say, as far as designer toys, I think the chumps, the cambots, and there's one that's called a ting, that it's these little elephants on these well, they could either be mounds of air or or but those I absolutely love. They don't come out very often though, so when they do, I really try to catch. So far I have like 4 of them. And last but not least, I have the little Yankees. Those I have series 1, 2, and 3, and I keep in baseball cases. Those I really, really enjoy.
But the
I
elephants
don't
make sense, right?
I don't like the mystery minis. I know a lot of
Okay.
people love the mini stuff. I don't like the mystery mini stuff. I just feel that they're very hard to put around. They're always falling. But I do have, well, you can't see it now because I got a table just like you behind you with all these Funko Pops. But I do have all of the It mystery minis in a
Okay.
case.
So a
Those I
specific line then, a specific line that
Yes,
you,
one
yeah.
specific line.
Yeah, I'm not a big fan of the minis either, but if they came out with a hockey line or a stand-up comedian line or a Mandalorian line, I'd have to
Well, they came
probably.
out with the Mandalorian line.
Oh, don't tell me that. Come on, I don't want.
What? Yes, they came out with a Mandalorian mystery mini set, and I believe it was GameStop. If you bought it from GameStop, you could get one that was just exclusive to GameStop.
Oh crap! Now I gotta go look that up. All right.
Uh,
Well, hey, more money out the door. The
yeah.
second thing I noticed in your background is, at least in your Gem Pops unboxing video, is that you have a stack of boxes. You still do in the background there. Are those just videos to be made, Are
Yeah.
those just orders you're waiting on? What is the story there?
That is all content. That is all boxes that I have, and it's like you don't we're talk, you see just see this column. You don't see this side, which also has a bunch of boxes. You pre-order stuff and it comes in 6 7 months later, and there it is. And then you have new stuff that you need to open, so it starts piling up. And I was doing 3 videos a week on my channel. But and then I do 2 of my own lives, Shoot the Breeze Saturday and Sunday Fun Day. Then I co-host with Rob, Funko Bunker on Fridays. Then I co-host with Funko Illuminati on Wednesdays, and I co-host on Sunday nights. On Sundays, I do 2 lives. I co-host with LBD on his channel. So I started feeling a little overwhelmed between the collecting, the making my own videos, and all the lives I was doing. So I cut down my videos to twice a week. But now this makes the boxes get even more stacked up.
I,
So but it's okay because I lost my job in December due to the pandemic and everything that's going
sorry to hear
on.
that.
Yeah. So, well, I was there for 31 years. So, in a way, it was a blessing. I think I was ready to go more than I realized that I was ready to just stop and leave. But it was still kind of a shocker. And so, a lot of the boxes I try and I used to early on Saturdays when I did my live, I used to open 14, 15 boxes on the live. I used to open
Wow.
everything. I never thought of making videos. And so then now I don't do that anymore. So I'll open 1 or 2 boxes per live, or I'll do, like a Target, I'm sorry, video. I'll do like a Target video, or I'll do a mystery box video, and I'll only open a few boxes. So that's why it kind of piles up like that. But it's okay because I can't really afford to buy that much anymore like I did a year ago. So I always worry that I don't have enough content.
Have you ever considered doing a mystery box of your own? I mean, if I
I've
asked this because you brought up earlier about how you just want to get rid of some of the pops that you bought on impulse and whatever. You could do a limited run like that and probably move some product. I would think make some
oh,
money.
I've done 3 mystery boxes. Um,
Great, that's
I
great to
did
hear.
I did an NYCC mystery box. That was my first one, and it was very successful. And the last one I did was just a couple of weeks ago, and I was shocked because it was a $25 guaranteed mystery box, $30 shipped, and it sold out like in less than 2 hours. And
That's great.
I was like floored. So yeah, but I also say that I'm all by myself, so they're stressful, they're very stressful. You start thinking, oh my god, will everybody be happy with what they get?
Yes, yes, you do worry about that. That's true.
Yeah, and I'm the type of person that I know how I feel when I open a crappy mystery box, which is quite often because I collect so much that most of the time I get stuff that I already have. That's why I have this huge 55-gallon bin here full of pops that I give away on my
Hmm.
Saturday lives. Um, but then there's some companies that I love to do business with because I don't ever get anything that I have. But yeah, I've done the boxes, and usually I send them out super overvalued, and I end up losing. Like this last box, I lost money when I made money, but in reality, when you really look at the dynamics, I lost money because I charged too little for shipping. I ended up paying so much
Right.
money for shipping with these
Yes.
boxes. That some of the boxes, some people bought 2 boxes and they ended up really like getting the first one for free, one of the boxes. So, but I hate to charge people what I should because I just hate taking advantage, and I'm not in this for the money, or to take money from people. I mean, even to do a Patreon was like really difficult for me. But then I said, you know what, I need help as far as the shipping is concerned, and for my giveaways, and to supplement. So now what I've done is I mostly give away gift cards because you
Okay.
can send them electronically. A pot is worth about $10. I mean, some of the exclusives I give, okay, 15, but I give away $10 Target gift cards. I send them electronically. I don't have to worry about mailing anything. I don't have to worry about paying for shipping. So
Smart.
yeah, so I give the person the choice, because on Mondays I do give a Funko Pop away from my Monday giveaway video. But I've now started saying, well, do you want the Funko Pop that I was giving away, or would you prefer the gift certificate? And 8 out of 9 times they'll say, send me the gift certificate, which is awesome, you know?
Yeah, that's very smart. Thinking outside the box. I like that.
Yeah.
While we wrap up here, Claire, thank you so much for doing this. I really, really appreciate it. This is our first episode, as you know, and so we're kind of working through some kinks here, and you have been tremendous. I do want to ask about your YouTube channel and your Instagram. What I mean by that is you have 1.5 thousand subs on YouTube. You got 1,000 followers on Instagram. How did you grow your channel? Was there any kind of formula that you came up with? Is it just over time? Is it networking? I mean, what? I mean, obviously, I would imagine all the content that you were giving, like the lives and all that helps. But but what was the what was the driving force there?
Um, Number one, like the first 300-400 subs, I want to say it was community. They helped me a lot when I first started. After that, I want to say it was shout outs from bigger channels, Beer to Pop, Slapshot, um, Rock and Roll. They helped me. Pop Force One, when that's Vince, Josh, Jim, and John. They have a channel called Pop Force Ones. They gave me a few shout outs and got me quite a few subs also. And so I appreciate what they did for me. And the rest has been networking. I do a lot of networking. I have a VPN, so I go to a lot of the European chat rooms. And I go to Spain, I go to Mexico, I go to Chile. And even though I speak Spanish, so to me it's not difficult, but they do sub to my channel, even if they don't watch it, or if they don't understand what's really going on. They still come and they sub to you. So I've been able to grow my YouTube channel that way. And Instagram, I've had Instagram for quite a while, even before I started collecting. So that was already growing.
Well, I appreciate your time. You are awesome. You're a great follow. Like I said,
Thank
I
you.
apologize that I missed the mystery box the last time, but that will not happen again because I'm so used to people saying I would never do a mystery box of my own. And so that was my baggage. I just naturally assumed that you had not done one, so that's on me. But the fact that you've done that and you're thinking outside the box and doing these gift cards instead of worrying about a $10 pop shipping, which you would have gone went spent the $10 to get the pop anyway, and then added another $8 on that to ship. I mean, that's all great, and I love what you do. I do love watching you live, and
Thank you.
I'm a big fan of yours. So thank you so much for doing this. I really appreciate it.
Thank you. Thank you for having me. I appreciate it. And I'm glad to help, and I'm all that I'm the first one. So I wish you all the luck with your new segment
Thank
on your
you.
channel. And you got a lot of great people in this community to interview. So I'm sure that whatever you come up with, it's gonna be awesome and you're gonna have much success in it.